When I started in NHS, there's not many people that look like me.
Growing up, I would be walking to school and people used to open the windows and say, "Go home, Packy." And I was 8.
We do, whether we like it or not, exist in a state of structural racism.
I've always felt I have to work a little bit harder than my colleagues.
Slavery was meant to have ended years ago, but that thinking is still very much with us.
You know, there's this saying back in Trinidad, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
I think there's still a big ask in terms of people acknowledging that it exists. We've got the Snowy White reports and Snowy Peaks and the King's Fund reports and all that says there is racism in the NHS. Look at the figures. What's the rate of progression of BAME people compared to white people? What is the stress level among BAME people compared to white people? What's the rate of retention? What's the speed of career progression? And we've done some work on equality and diversity at Colchester, and we had focus groups where people came in and they spoke their minds, and we had a department-wide survey, and people spoke up, and some of the comments they made were quite disturbing, people, grown adults were crying, you know. It tells you the level of discomfort they have been under for years. Slavery was meant to have ended years ago. That mindset, that thinking is still very much with us.
We do, whether we like it or not, exist in a state of structural racism. In terms of how we tackle that, the starting point needs to be being prepared to be wrong, and being prepared to be called out yourself, and being willing to accept that there's a problem with what you've just done, or there's a problem with your behaviour, there's a problem with your turn of phrase, as opposed to, oh no, you just misunderstood me.
There was an open conversation that one of the ward leaders said, "Well, I'm a bit worried tonight because I'm leaving the ward with 2 Filipino nurses." At this day and age, it's still happening. It's still happening that because we look different, we cannot be trusted to look after the whole ward.
I have a 21-year-old son. He should be able to go for a job and feel confident that he's being interviewed and it is equitable. He could have his hair how he wants to have his hair and people won't judge him. He could be himself and people won't judge him.
Part of white privilege is the fact that you're more likely to be taken at your word.
Because 20 years here, I feel that it's almost as long as in my own country. So how long I'm going to be a foreigner? How long before someone can actually say, "You're English"?